Raymond Island is located in the Gippsland Lakes, approximately 3.5 hours from Melbourne. Only 200 metres from Paynesville, the only access is though via the ferry. Raymond Island is well known for its koala population, which Lisa visited back in episode 3.
This week I have a little bit of a different story for you. We are standing out the front of Gerry's glass art on Raymond Island, and I cannot wait to go in and have a look at her work. Hi, how are you going?
Hey, how are you?
Good, I'm Karen.
Hi Karen, I'm Gerry.
Nice to meet you. Beautiful things inside.
Thank you.
What are you working on here?
I'm just making some jewellery, some work I did last week. Would you be interested in seeing how the process starts and this is the end part of it?
I'd love to. Yeah,
Cool.
let's have a look.
Okay, let's go. Okay, Karen, this is the glass that you purchase. You just purchase it like that, and it comes in all different shapes, colours and size. So what you do is you pick a design. I tend to like to work fine to make long, thin pieces of jewellery. So I would just do long, thin lines. And then with this is a glass cutter.
So that's more, that's more an earring, not a necklace.
That would be more an earring,
Yeah.
yeah. So the long slender earrings. So you just get the cutter straight up, cut, and cut. And these are what you call your running pliers, and they just break the glass that you've cut. See how fine?
Beautiful.
So you just cut nice little fine ones, and you can either like go the long length, or you can just cut them in half. This is really not, doesn't matter if anything's perfect or exact, because being
It's
different
creative,
is creative, and everything's a different piece. So this piece over here, I'll be able to show you what I've fired over on that lot, and that will show you how it will come out, because it comes out completely different. So you put it in, you don't know what you're going to get, and then when you open the kiln 28, 30 hours later, you get a surprise. Okay, so now, once we've cut these,
Yes.
they just go on a plate and get put in the kiln. They're fired for 28 to 30 hours.
Oh, okay.
And then this is the outcome of that to that. So it's actually
Huge
quite a big
difference,
difference.
isn't it?
So it's pretty exciting. You don't know what you're actually going to get until you open that kiln door.
They're really cute.
And see what comes up. Yeah.
Bit like the ones you've got in there.
Yeah, thank you. So it's good fun, and yeah, certainly creative, because you just don't know what you're going to get.
Well, my creative juices are definitely flowing in here. Can I have a crack?
Yeah, sure you can.
All right, what do I have to do?
Okay, first pick your colour of glass.
Yep.
You want to
Red,
do a red?
please. I'm feeling
Okay.
red.
Need to put some safety glasses on.
Yeah.
And we need to put an apron on.
Thank you. This one's pretty.
A nice, cute one. And mine's a bit
You've had a bit more work.
well
on
worked.
yours, yes. All right.
Okay. So it's just a matter of whatever you would like to, what shape, style, whatever you would like to do.
Okay.
Draw it on there.
Let's try triangle.
One each end.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
The tricky bit.
The tricky bit.
I'm a bit scared. Watch out, everyone.
You always use your glass cutter with the screw on the top. And this here is your wheel. So what you actually do is you rest the glass on the glass.
Yeah.
And you see the wheel, the diamond tip wheel. So if you have that on there, and you just start cutting, you press down, and you just ride through. So
I might need to use the ruler though. I'm not as
well,
good at
yeah,
this
you can
as
use
you.
that as a guide, but you'll just have to have it back a little
Back a bit, yep.
because the screw's got to be upwards.
Okay.
Yep. Just come back in a little bit. That's it.
Okay, and going forward that way.
Hold it straight up in the air, press very hard, and roll. Turn around. We'll see if we got them.
Okay.
Do the same. Press a bit harder.
Oh, yep. Got it that time.
Yeah, that's better. You can't generally go over a score, so we'll just have a go and see if that one worked. So now the same. Screw up, and you put the pliers. There's a mark there.
Yep.
And you open it up, and you press down. Bang.
Ah, nice.
So that's your bit, and do the other end as well.
Okay.
Just back a little bit. Yep.
That one not so good.
Not so good. That's
We'll
okay.
try that one.
Well, that's really good, and I reckon it's time we head over to the kiln and pop them in and set them up.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. Grab our bits. Okay.
What's the next step?
Okay, next step is we pop all our little bits on this piece of paper. Now this paper stops the glass from sticking to the cement sheet. Sorry, I'm blocking your...
No, that's fine.
Your view. We'll just stick them all on. It's already ready to programmed. It's an 8-cycle program. This is called a top hat kiln, and it will take about 28 hours. So let's go and look in the gallery, and I'll show you what the red's going to turn out like.
I'd love to, because I can't wait that long. I need to know now.
Yeah.
I actually thought it might have opened that way.
That's why they call it a top hat, because it comes down.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so anyone that comes with a child in to visit, the first thing I do is get the child to come over and pick a koala out and let them take them home as a memo of Raymond Island and the koalas, and then I quickly send them out to the tree and look while Mum looks at the glass.
I saw the koala before.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, Karen, so this is the red. It's going to turn out that we've just put in the kiln. When it's finished and fired, that's what we're going to
So vibrant compared to the material before.
Yeah, it brings it up great.
Well, I also found myself a little treat here. These gold ones. Matches the outfit.
Yeah, matches the dress.
What do you think?
Oh, gorgeous.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I'll have to get these today, I think. And I hope you get lots of visitors throughout this season this year. Such a beautiful shop. And thanks for having us today.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for coming.
Coming up next, we visit the Koala Conservation Centre at Phillip Island. We're standing here at the gateway to Phillip Island in San Remo, and before 1940, there wasn't even a bridge here. You had two options, to catch the ferry or to swim. Even after the first suspension bridge was built, it was only a 6-ton limit, which meant tour buses had to stop and unload before they travelled across. As the old saying goes, if you've got a problem, you've got to build a bridge and get over it. And that's exactly what the people of Phillip Island did. In 1969, the concrete bridge was constructed and Phillip Island as a tourist destination began to boom. These days, there's an estimated 3.5 million visitors per year. On the other side of this bridge awaits a plethora of fun and adventure at one of Victoria's favourite tourist destinations.
Just 1.5 hours drive from Melbourne, Phillip Island is home to approximately 7,000 residents all year round. But when it hits summer, that number jumps to over 50,000. It has got to be one of the most well-known of Victoria's islands, yet there are still many places tucked away on Phillip Island that most people don't even know about.
The Koala Conservation Centre at Phillip Island is dedicated to koala research and protection. The centre also has a special breeding program which plays a vital role in saving Phillip Island's koala population. Featured in the centre are 2 elevated treetop boardwalks, which give visitors an up-close and personal viewing of 40 koalas. And this equates to 45% of Phillip Island's koala population, spread over 6 hectares of native Australian bushland.
We've got Ranger Dan here with us. Thanks for joining us, Dan. Tell us, are our koalas endangered or are they just in need of a little bit of TLC?
Yeah, look, basically they're just in need of a bit of TLC. They're not endangered, but they are a very vulnerable species. So really with koalas in Australia, it's a lot of management issues involved in making sure that the numbers do stay at a good level. There are some areas where there's too many koalas and some areas like Phillip Island where there's not many koalas left.
What are the main predators that koalas face?
Basically, when they're in the trees, they don't face a lot of predators. The predators are a problem when they move from tree to tree along the ground, so dogs in particular. We do get a lot of koalas attacked by dogs, but I guess their biggest predator would be humans, not from hunting, but in terms of loss of habitat, koalas getting hit by cars on roads, and things like that. In terms of natural predators, some birds of prey will take young koalas, but it's quite rare.
Now, the koala road toll is an interesting topic. Tell us a little bit about the Friends of Koala, the Friends of Koalas, because I know that they've had a little bit of interaction with helping out the road toll and how big it's become.
Yeah, look, but back in the 70s, there used to be well over 1,000 koalas on Phillip Island. Over the last 30 years or so, a lot of the koala numbers have diminished. The Friends of Koalas did a lot of, I guess, looked at the numbers of koalas that were getting hit on roads and put out a lot of information in the media to let people know to slow down and be aware of the koalas. But apart from that, Friends of Koalas do keep tabs on the koalas on Phillip Island, so they encourage people to ring in with sightings, and of course if any koalas are hit or injured, then they'll make sure that they're cared for.
They've got those famous signs on the sides of the roads that say "Injured wildlife, please call." And I mean, it reminds me of a really famous bit of one of my favourite comedians, Carl Barron.
Yep.
It says, "Injured wildlife, please call," and he does a bit that says, "Yeah, g'day mate. Yeah, I'm a possum. Yeah, some buggers run me over. Yeah, I'll wait here." And that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no, don't give up your day job. No, it's good having those numbers out there for sure, because we do get a lot of calls, and it's important that the animal's not there suffering on the side of the road. So.
Now Dan, for such a national treasure, there are many myths surrounding the koala, and I thought what a great time to dispel these myths with the koala quiz. I'm going to fire a series of questions at you, true or false, you're going to answer them.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do this. Start the clock. Koalas are nocturnal.
True.
Koalas have 2 thumbs.
True.
Koalas are bears.
False.
Very good. A koala's pouch is on the front, similar to a kangaroo.
True.
They are the only marsupial which has fingerprints, thus are unable to pursue a career in cat burglary.
True. Apparently.
Their main predators are dogs and cars.
True.
They sleep approximately 20 hours a day.
True.
They don't normally drink.
True.
They do, however, communicate similar to a drunk human male with a snore or a belch.
That's true.
Males are usually around 50% heavier than females.
True.
Is this because of the koala beer?
False.
When koalas do drink, they suffer from something called bear gut.
False.
They grow to full size within 1 year.
False.
Koalas are indigenous to Phillip Island.
False.
Koalas eat eucalyptus gum leaves, and their preferred type varies from region to region.
True.
On Phillip Island, koalas prefer Tasmanian blue gum, manna gum, swamp gum, and hubba bubba bubble gum.
True to part.
Okay. Baby koalas are usually known as what?
Joeys.
Usually only 1 joey per mother per year is born, however, occasionally koalas have twins.
True.
If a mummy koala gives birth to a baby koala within the centre, you guys plan to name them Mary, Kate and Ashley Olsen.
False.
Okay, just a suggestion. Male koalas have a coloured patch on their chest from the urban sport of planking.
False.
Obviously it's rubbing up against trees to mark territory. Yeah, okay. The majority of koalas in the wild are drunk or high from the eucalyptus.
False. Common
Yep.
myth.
Common myth. Staff have to do regular head counts because of escapee koalas.
True.
The koala population of Phillip Island is declining, but neighbouring French Island, they're at risk of overpopulation.
True.
Phillip Island regularly abducts koalas from the show-offs on French Island in order to keep their numbers up.
False.
Thanks, Dan. You did well.
You're welcome.
The centre also plays host to a large number of Australian wildlife, including brush and ringtail possums, echidnas, copperhead snakes, and right over my shoulder, the Australian swamp wallaby. Open every day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m, the Koala Conservation Centre is located just a short 90-minute drive from Melbourne on Phillip Island. You can visit the Koala Conservation Centre with a 3-park pass, which also includes entry to the Penguin Parade and Churchill Island Heritage Farm. Check out our website for more details.
After the break, we go for a leisurely paddle around Lindsay Island in the Murray Sunset National Park. You've probably camped by the Murray River before, or thrown a line in off the riverbank, or maybe you've gone for a wander in the surrounding bushland. But have you ever explored the waterways? No, I'm not talking about from a luxury houseboat or a motorised tinny. Today, we're getting hands-on.
And you'll need both hands for this adventure. We're going kayaking in the Murray Sunset National Park. Tucked way up in the northwest corner of Victoria, the park is an easy 7.5 hours drive from Melbourne, and a good excuse for a long weekend, I say. Just gear up your 4-wheel drive, strap the kayaks to the roof, and away you go. Murray Sunset is the second largest national park in Victoria and is dissected by many rivers. We're exploring Mullaroo Creek, which snakes its way through the centre of Lindsay Island. It's believed this area as a whole was once a sea inlet, and as the waters retreated over millions of years, the large sand ridges were left. For thousands of years, the islands were home to several Aboriginal tribes. Peter Teasdale from Parks Victoria is my paddle buddy for the day and guide to the area.
So Peter, what made this area so inhabitable for the Indigenous people?
Just the amount of resources available to them in the form of native wildlife and the plants.
What kinds of wildlife and plants do you think that they targeted here?
Just from the amount of shell middens around, I think they used to eat a lot of mussels and fish. There's also a lot of kangaroos and stuff in the area.
Okay. And what kind of evidence is there of Indigenous heritage here?
There's quite a lot of cultural sites scattered across Lindsay Island, from burial sites, scar trees, shell middens and stone scatters.
Oh, great. So if we lived back then, we'd be in a wooden canoe right now instead of a plastic kayak, right?
Most certainly. There's plenty of evidence of scar trees, canoe trees on the island.
Oh, good. Well, I hope we see some.
I'm sure we will.
Excellent. Let's go and find them.
Indigenous tribes used to make canoes, shields, shelters and containers out of bark cut from the sides of native eucalyptus trees, usually box and red gums. The scars still remain in trees that are hundreds of years old and are one of the easiest archaeological sites to find in Australia. Here on the banks of Mullaroo Creek, we're surrounded by river red gums.
Lisa, we also get the Plawson plantingale here, which is a small marsupial, which is a carnivore and lives in the grey cracking soils out on the floodplain.
Okay, so we'd have to venture onto dry ground to see that one?
Yes, we would. But, we also might see some regent parrots as we're paddling along, another endangered species that inhabits this area.
Okay, and I hear there's a lily as well.
Yes, the darling lily has the distinction of being Victoria's largest wildflower.
Oh, beautiful.
The park is also one of the only regions in Victoria where red kangaroos can be seen in their numbers, and it's also not uncommon to spot an emu or two. But what I find incredibly interesting is one of the giants living in the murky brown beneath us.
Now, Peter, I always thought that cod had a 3-second memory, or fish in general had 3-second memory, but you were just telling me something really interesting about their patterns.
Yes, the Keith Turnbull Research Institute undertook a tracking survey of larger cod, and they found they move over considerable distances but always come back to the same snag. They keep finding them in the same spot time after time.
Isn't that incredible? in water like this, they manage to find the same snack.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's amazing. As Peter was saying earlier, this river is an important breeding ground for Murray cod. And apparently they like to hide out under fallen trees like this one behind me. So while I'm not sticking my head under to find out where they are, I guarantee they're down there.
Cod are the largest freshwater fish in the Murray River. Some have been known to grow to more than 100 kilos and to lengths of more than 180 centimetres. Mullaroo Creek is a significant breeding ground for the species.
Really is a stunning spot, isn't it?
Most certainly is, Lisa.
And how long have you worked up this way for?
I've been working here for 16 years.
Very good. So you know the place like the back of your hand.
I know it very well. Yeah.
Well, you can expect many more visitors to this area, I can imagine, especially
yes.
heating up.
Yeah, it is a very popular area for camping and fishing.
Catch those Murray cod.
Yes, there are some caught here.
But be warned, from September to November, there is a ban on Murray cod fishing. It's breeding season. So if you do happen to pull one in, you'll have to settle for a kiss on the lips, then watch her swim away. But don't get disheartened. There are always more fish in the sea, or river, as the case may be.
All right.
They're the main two species, Murray cod and golden perch. The silver perch, which are protected in here as well.
Yeah.
And recently a lot of catfish, which is good on the increase.
Excellent. Catfish aren't native though, are they?
Yes, yeah. No,
Oh, they are?
Species.
Whoopsies.
And of course a lot of the introduced carp in here.
Yeah, carp.
Yes, the European carp.
Okay. They're not a pest?
Yes,
Carp?
they are.
They are.
But I think the larger cod here feed on them a lot, so that's probably a good thing about them.
It's okay, they're a food source.
During times of heavy rain, many small creeks appear, branching from the main rivers like veins on a leaf.
That looks like a section that would get flooded as the river rises.
Yeah, that's one of those smaller creeks I was saying that would flow during the floods.
2011 saw the first big flood to the Murray River system in over a decade. Flooding is critical for the health of the river system, helping to redistribute fish populations, link wetlands, and give the drought-stricken plains a good long soak. Access to rivers in the Murray Sunset National Park is subject to weather conditions, so make sure you check with Parks Victoria before heading off for a day on the water.
Well, Peter, thank you for taking me out today. I can't imagine anything more relaxing to do with a day off.
No, my pleasure, Lisa, and it's certainly a wonderful place to work.
If you like what you've seen on any of the episodes today, head to our website, victoriasislands.tv, or check us out on Facebook or Twitter.